Hello students, welcome to our engineering graphics lecture series. I am Professor Swapnil, and in today's lecture we will discuss and solve a problem based on orthographic projection. By using clear and systematic approach, we will see the solution for this problem. So here is a problem statement. A figure shows pictorial view of a CI dough tail bracket. Draw to scale full size the following views by using the first angle method of projection. The full sectional elevation along a cutting plane AA, plan view and right hand side view. So here the pictorial view is given and the three different views are asked: sectional front view, top view and right hand side view. Now here you can see here this is the XY and these are the different planes. This is left hand side view plane. Now here for this problem the sectional front view, the simple top view and simple right hand side view is asked. So we want three different plane for this problem. तर मित्रांनो आपण हा जो प्रॉब्लेम आहे पहिल्यांदा विदाऊट सेक्शन सॉल्व करणार आहोत. त्यानंतर ह्या प्रॉब्लेमला सेक्शनने सॉल्व करणार आहोत. तर हा जो प्रॉब्लेम आहे तो तुम्हाला दोन्ही मेथडने सॉल्व करता यायला पाहिजे. विदाऊट सेक्शन अँड विथ सेक्शन. And you can see here this object is cut by this cutting plane. This is a cutting plane direction, and after cutting we get the sectional front view because observer is looking this object from x direction. Now here for sectional plane problem, the top view and right hand side view. For this problem the top view and right hand side view is a normal, but front view we get as a section view. Now read the drawing carefully and find the missing dimensions or find the length, width and height. Now here this is x direction, so from this end to this end is the length of this object. So total length of this object is 135 mm. The thickness of this object is 80 mm. Width is 80 mm and height. Now you can see here from base to this surface height is 30 mm. From this surface to center of that circle height is 25. So height of this object is 30 plus 25, 30 plus 25 plus from this center to the outer circle radius is given, it is 25 mm plus 25 mm. So 50 plus 30, 80 mm is the height of this object. So these are the overall dimensions for this object. And in the front view, if I am looking this object from x direction, जर मी एक्स डायरेक्शनने प्रॉब्लेम हा व्ह्यू बघत असेल ॲट दॅट टाइम दिस फुल सरफेस, दिस वर्टिकल प्लेन सरफेस इज विजिबल फ्रॉम द फ्रंट साइड as well as this slide surface is also visible from the front view. This circular hole is visible, but this slot, हा जो स्लॉट आहे तो आपल्याला समोरून दिसणार नाही, तो आपल्याला टॉप व्ह्यूमध्ये दिसेल. टॉप व्ह्यूमध्ये आपल्याला हा स्लॉट दिसणार आहे, तो फ्रंट व्ह्यूमध्ये आपण बाय युजिंग हिडन लाईन आपण तो जो स्लॉट आहे त्याचे डायमेन्शन पण आपल्याला दिले आहे. सेंटर डिस्टन्स बिटवीन दिस टू सर्कल्स आर 15 mm अँड फ्रॉम दिस एज टू द सेंटर ऑफ दॅट हाफ सर्कल इज गिवन 25 mm. तर आपण पहिल्यांदा एक्स वाय अँड x1 y1 ॲक्सिस ड्रॉ करून घेऊया आणि आपल्याला प्लेन माहिती आहे. सो वी रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दिस प्रॉब्लेम वी रिक्वायर दिस थ्री डिफरंट प्लेन. सो ड्रॉ द हॉरिझॉन्टल परफेक्ट xy ॲक्सिस. X, Y and draw the vertical x1 y1 plane. So draw the perfect perpendicular x1 y1 plane. This is x1, this is xy and this is x and y. So there. Now draw the another reference line which is at 10 mm distance. So center line one वर ठेवा आणि above xy and below axis mark at 10 mm distance. Similarly left side ला 10 mm and right ला 10 mm distance आपण मार्क करू. Now by using thin line draw the reference line which is at 10 mm distance from xy and x1 y1. हे जी कन्स्ट्रक्शन आहे हे सर्व प्रॉब्लेमसाठी रिक्वायर्ड आहे. तर मित्रांनो, आपल्याला आपण ऑलरेडी फाइंड केलं आहे की दिस प्लेन इज द फ्रंट व्ह्यू प्लेन, दिस इज ए टॉप व्ह्यू प्लेन अँड दिस इज ए राईट हँड साइड व्ह्यू प्लेन. ह्या प्लेनमध्ये आपल्याला फ्रंट व्ह्यू मिळणार आहे. दिस प्लेन इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ व्हर्टिकल प्लेन, दिस प्लेन इज कॉल्ड ॲज ए हॉरिझॉन्टल प्लेन अँड दिस इज ए साइड व्ह्यू प्लेन or principal plane. Now we can see here. Already we have discussed that this surface, the vertical surface is visible. So we can start this problem from this O point. इथपासून ह्या पॉईंटपासून आपण 135 डिस्टन्स मार्क करू आणि आपल्याला ह्या ज्या बॉटम जो झेड शेप प्रोफाईलची हाईट आहे फ्रॉम बेस टू दिस हाईट इज गिवन, इट इज 15 mm हाईट इज गिवन. तर फ्रंट व्ह्यूमध्ये आपल्याला 135 बाय 15 mm चा पूर्ण रेक्टेंग्युलर स्ट्रीप आपल्याला बघायला मिळेल. तर आपण 135 बाय 15 mm डिस्टन्स आपण इथे मार्क करूया. फ्रॉम दिस ओ पॉइंट mark a 13.5 distance. This full rectangle of dimension 135 by 15 mm is visible from front view. So mark a 15 mm distance. Join these two ends. This is the bottom surface. This bottom surface visible. After that, from this level, the total height of this from this surface to this surface, bottom surface height is 15 mm. So the remaining distance is 15 mm. So from this level up to this level, the distance is 15 mm. So the height of this rectangular slot is 15 mm, and this 15 mm, the 15 mm height is visible from this end also, and mark 15 mm. Now by using thin line we can join these two end points. Now here the radius of that outer circle is 25 mm. So the 15 mm 50 mm जे distance आहे ते आपल्याला लाईन मध्ये दिसत नाहीये, but the remaining distance is visible. So from this end आपण 50 mm distance सोडून नंतरून ही लाईन मार्क करू. So you can find the distance of this line by using simple calculation 135 minus 50. किंवा ह्या एंड पासून आपण 50 mm मार्क करूया आणि जो सर्क्युलर सेक्शन सर्कलचा डायमीटर आहे तिथपासून आपण स्ट्रेट लाईन आपण जॉईन करू. सो 50 mm डिस्टन्स आपण सोडलेलं आहे आणि रिमेनिंग जी डिस्टन्स होतं 135 मायनस 50 आपण मार्क केलं. नाव ह्या पॉईंटपासून ह्या सेंटर सर्कल ऑफ सेंटर हाईट इज मेन्शन हिअर, इट इज 25 mm. फ्रॉम बोथ द एंड द हाईट ऑफ दिस वर्टिकल एज इज 25 mm. So from this point we can mark a 25 mm vertical line. So mark a 25 mm vertical line. Here is the center. Here the center of that two circles. The two circles are concentric. The outer half circle and circular hole, and the circular hole both are the concentric. Now find the center. Find the center and draw this outer circle. Join these two end points by using half circle. So radius of that half circle is 25 mm. So from this point we have taken 25 mm. Already this distance is 25 mm. So from this center take 25 mm distance and complete the half circle. So this is this profile we have drawn here. Now we will draw the circular hole of diameter 25 mm. So take 12.5 mm distance inner compass, 12.5 mm distance, and draw the circular hole of diameter 25 mm. The two holes. Now the front surface, front vertical wall and back vertical wall both are symmetrical. The dimensions of these parts are same. So the back part is not visible, but हा जो फ्रंट पार्ट आहे त्यावरती तो पार्ट हाईड होतोय. सो इथे आपल्याला हा पार्ट दाखवायची गरज नाही, तो हाईड होतोय. नाऊ ड्रॉ द व्हर्टिकल सेंटर लाईन. नाऊ this hole, the slot is not visible from the front, so the dimension of the slot is given. First we will mark a center of that slot. The two half circular parts, the slot is consist of two circular parts. So center distance of that arc is given 25 mm. So from this end, from the right side end, mark 25 mm distance. After that, center distance between these two half circle is given, it is 15 mm. It is 15 mm. And after that, the radius of that half circle is given 12 mm. So mark it 12 mm distance. 12 mm distance. Now here, these are the center lines. These two are the center lines. Distance. From this end also mark it 12 mm distance. So you can see here, these two are the center lines for this object. This is also center line. And these two edges, the outer edges of the slots are not visible. So with the help of hidden line, we can show this end of this slot. And the slot is throat from top surface to bottom surface. This is a front view, complete front view for this object. Now with the help of front view, we can draw the top view. So take a projection from front view. So here already we have taken the projection of this left side. Now take the projection from right side and other remaining parts. Okay. Now check the center. Now the thickness of this object is 80 mm. So from the reference line, mark 80 mm distance. From this end also mark 80 mm distance. In the top view, the full rectangular part is visible. This outer edges are visible directly. Okay. Now we will find the center of that top view. This object is symmetrical, so with the help of center line, center point is at 40 mm. So by using center line, we will join these 2 points. Okay. Now in the top view, this full surface, the plane surface, we can see, as well as these half circular parts, they are seen as a rectangular part. So in the rectangular part dimensions are, the diameter of that half circle is 50 mm and the thickness of that part is 20 mm. So from both the ends, we will mark 20 mm thickness, 20 mm, and from this end also we will mark 20 mm. So the rectangular strips are visible. These two rectangular parts are visible from the top. They are the half circular parts. And these parts are the circular, so show the center line for this part. And project a project a circular hole. These circular holes are not visible. Circular holes are not visible from top view. Now this slot, now the slot is visible from the top view. These are the centers for this slot. We will take a 12 mm distance in the compass. This is 12 mm distance, and directly we can join, we can draw. Join this directly. This edge is visible. Now, some parts are invisible from the top, and these parts are this edge and this edge. The total 4 edges are not visible from the top. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the distance of that edge is 55 mm from 55. Total distance is 55 mm. So center is 27 distance, 25 mm. So from center line, we will mark this edge first, which is at 27.5 mm. 25, 27. Here also we will mark a 27.5 distance, and you can see this distance is 55. Total distance is 80 mm. So this distance is total distance, width is 80 mm. 80 minus 55 is a 35 mm, and 35 divided by 2. 35 divided by 2 is 17.5 distance. So the edge distance, this edge distance is 17.5. So from this center line, we will mark, or from this end, we will mark 17.5 mm distance. From center, we will mark a 17.5 mm distance. So measure this distance in the compass and mark this distance on the opposite side. Now by using a thin line, we can show these 4 edges. So adjust the ruler along XY and draw a hidden line. This hidden line is right end to left end directly. Similarly, the same 2 edges are visible at the bottom of that part. Now this is the top view for this object. Now for side view, we are looking this object from right hand side, and from the right hand side, the first part is, this part is visible. Okay, so here we can draw this part. Okay, first project this point, project the ends. First mark a 45 degree angle line. And take a projection from front view and top view. Okay. Now we are looking this object from right side. So this rectangle of dimension, the 2 rectangular parts are visible, and this profile is also visible. And for that profile, we will find the center first, then we will complete this profile. Now, so we already marked this distance of this profile. So here is a distance 35 mm distance. The bottom distance is 55 mm. So this is the 27.5 distance. So from the center line, we will mark this distance on the both sides. After that, this distance is 17.5, which is at 15 mm height. So this is the bottom edge, and we'll mark a 15 mm distance first. So already we have marked this distance in the front view. Now you can see here on this line, we will mark a 17.5 mm distance. So from this end we will measure this distance, or from center we want this distance, it is 17.5 mm distance. So measure this distance and from both ends mark this distance 17.5 and this distance 17.5. So you can directly join these two ends. This is the flat surface, these two edges, and this rectangular, the above top is visible. After that, the two vertical walls are visible, and the dimensions of these walls are from this face, from this base to top, thickness is 20 mm. From both the end, we will mark a 20 mm distance, 20, 20. This is the center line. Now these circular holes are not visible from the right hand side view. So with the help of hidden line, we can show these two circular holes. Before that, आपण center and draw करूया. Now take the projection from front view and by using hidden line, show these circular holes. These two holes are visible, not visible from the right hand side view. Now this slot is not visible, and from the top view we can project this, or the distance of that slot is radius 12 mm. So from the center line we will mark a 12 mm distance. So from this we can measure this 12 mm distance, and from both the end we will mark a 12 mm distance, and with the help of hidden line we can show this slot. So this is a right hand side view for this object. आणि आपण सर्व पार्ट्स कन्सिडर केले आहे. मित्रांनो, हे सोल्युशन झालं विदाउट सेक्शनसाठी. जर तुम्हाला विचारला हा प्रॉब्लेम जर विचारला की ड्रॉ दिस प्रॉब्लेम or draw the simple front view, so this is a solution for this problem. But in the problem, the full section elevation along the cutting plane AA is asked. तर आपण ह्या AA कटिंग प्लेन मधून ऑब्जेक्टला कट करतो आहे आणि ऑब्जेक्टला एक्स डायरेक्शन बघतोय. At that time, the axe blade, the cutting plane cuts this bottom slot and its thickness is 30 mm. But this slot, slot hole, it is hollow. तर त्या ठिकाणी डायरेक्टली आपल्याला त्या एजेस, स्लॉटच्या एजेस आपल्याला बघायला मिळतील. तर आपण आता ह्या ज्या एजेस आहेत, दिस इज ए विदाउट सेक्शन फ्रंट व्ह्यू. आता आपण कटिंग केल्यानंतर ह्या दोन एजेस आपल्याला बघायला मिळतील. सो बाय युजिंग थिक लाईन we can directly join these edges, and by using hatching line we can show the section plane. So this edge is visible. Adjust a ruler at 45 degree angle line and show the cutting section plane by using hatching line. हा जो हॅचिंग सरफेस आहे, हा सरफेस एक्स ऑफ झेडच्या कॉन्टॅक्टमध्ये येणार आहे. दिस इज हॅचिंग पार्ट अँड दिस इज ए सेक्शनल फ्रंट व्ह्यू फॉर दिस प्रॉब्लेम. This is sectional front view, this is top view, and this is a right hand side view. Now the last part is give the dimensions. The diameter of that circular hole is 525, 525, and the radius of that half part is R25. The height is 30 mm. This height is 25 mm. The slot distance is 15 mm. This distance is 25 mm. The radius of that slot is 12 mm. R12. Then the total length is 135 mm. 135 mm. The width of this object is 80 mm. Then this distance is 55 mm. The thickness of that vertical walls are this is 20 mm. This is also 20 mm. Then angle is given. This angle is mentioned. This is 60 degree. With the help of 60 degree angle also we can draw this profile. This is 60 degree. Then so these dimensions are sufficient. 25 mm, 30, 135. Okay. These are the sufficient dimension for this problem. So friends, this is the complete solution for this problem. This is the sectional front view. This is a top view and this is the right hand side view. ऑब्जेक्टला समोर बघितल्यावरती हा फ्रंट व्ह्यू मिळतो आहे. टॉपने बघितलं तर हा टॉप व्ह्यू मिळतो आहे. आणि राईट हँड साईड व्ह्यूने बघितल्यावरती आपल्याला ह्या शेपमध्ये त्याचा व्ह्यू बघायला मिळतो आहे. दिस इज द complete solution for this problem. So friends, thank you for attending this lecture. I hope this session helped you to understand the concept of orthographic projection more effectively. Stay connected for more engineering graphics lecture, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you for watching this video. Happy learning.